to our AIOS ARC initiation session of the LDP Batch and also a session of the debate hour. The expert panel, some of you all who are in the earlier panel could stay on, please. I would be happy because there is some people are getting caught in other places.
There are a lot of chairs available this side.
Yeah, he'll come back. So, Kumar, doctor, you have to leave? Okay. So, we'll, Dr. Namrata, Dr. Rohit Om Prakash, Dr. Natarajan, Dr. G.S. Dhami, Dr. Gaurav Luthra, Ajay Arora, Dr. Mallika Goel, Dr. Krishna Prasad, Dr. Purendra Basin, would you come back? Oh, you want to go for that? And come back. Okay, come. Doctor, all of you are to be here till 5:30. Okay, we'll get coffee served for you.
With or without lunch?
So, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
We'll get a packed lunch.
Where is Vel Murugan? Vel Murugan chahiye. Oh, just 1 minute, I want to take.
शुरू करें?
नहीं LDP लिस्ट खोल के रखना है. ये खोलना. Okay. First and foremost, I would like to introduce the very new LDP batch which is coming in, and as I call your name, I would want you all to just get up, give your name so that we see you and just from where you're working. It is truly a privilege to be a part of this leadership development program and to have so much of energy towards this program as I see it in this hall is really a very encouraging thought. At the very basic level, I'm sure it binds us all with a thirst to learn more, and that is what has brought us together. In fact, what I learned in my tenure was that there was never a moment when you feel that learning is enough. And that's how I felt in these last 2 years. I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you all the right things. Learning, and I believe that we are truly exposed to great leaders who have risen in troubled times, especially during the COVID. And if you're truly driven, if you constantly have that thirst to hear, observe, and learn some more, what ophthalmology entails in all its spectrums, we are there. And I think all of you want to be there, and that's why you are in this hall today. I believe that we never stayed, that if we ever never stay satisfied, if we are never complacent with ourselves, if we are on a road to constantly move ahead, we are actually there. Maybe the talk of the seniors in our community, maybe some exposure to the management trainers might guide us some more, but I believe that the very fact that you moved into this leadership program itself spells that you are on the track to move further ahead in your career and in your life. I think we are merely there to facilitate you. I would rather believe that I'm learning along with you, with your support and with your energies. And I believe that one and all of you who have joined this LDP program would enjoy the next couple of years and enjoy the learning which comes. Do share your thoughts in the group and whatever thoughts, however you want to evolve in the LDP program, and we'll try our best to move you somewhere there. I'm going to just introduce you all, just a minute. I don't know how many of you all are here though. Dr. Aios2022 Pandey from Uttarakhand. Yes, you're from.
Tell me the number, I'll just stick on that. No, number 1.
No, yeah.
Unknown caller.
Thank you. Dr. Ajit Kumar Dwivedi. Nice meeting you. And Dr. Anil Kumar Gunda. You can introduce yourself.
I'm from Kurnool.
Ah.
I'm trained at Aravind, did my DNB and pediatric ophthalmology. And we have started a center called Modern Eye Hospital and Research Center. So I'm working there as a consultant for the past 12 years.
Okay, nice. I missed out on that intro of the two of you. Would you introduce yourself?
I myself, Dr. Neha Deshpande. I am working in a government medical college in Srinagar, Garhwal,
Oh.
based near the Rishikesh.
Oh, very nice.
I'm Dr. Ajit Kumar Deveti. I own our center as a Sarda since last 6 years. Practicing around since 15 years.
Oh, thank you. The fourth speaker, fourth member is Dr. Akshaya Goyal.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Akshay Goyal. I am director for a 120-bed multi-specialty hospital in Ambikapur, Chhattisgarh. I have done my post-graduation from Aurangabad and my undergraduation from KMC Manipal. So thank you, and thank you for this opportunity.
Oh,
Thank you.
very nice. Next is Dr. Anthony Arogya Das. Is he there? Okay. Number 5 is not there. Dr. Anurag Kumar Kashyap. Is not there. Dr. Binjya Birajita Panda. Vigya, sorry. Yes, introduce yourself. Oh, okay, thank you. You all keep having 2 mics on either side so that all of them get heard. Dr. Rohan Bauri. Dr. Rohan Bauri is not there? Art. Yeah, nahin. Dr. Bhagavati Vadwekar.
Good afternoon all.
Yes.
Good afternoon all. I am Dr. Bhagavati Vadwekar. I work as Associate Professor of Ophthalmology in Pondicherry Institute of Medical Science.
Oh, nice.
I am
Thank
also
you.
Vice Dean Research there.
Oh.
I am an oculoplasty surgeon. I am trained in Aravind Eye Hospital, Madurai, and cataract surgeon. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Dr. Chaya Bharti.
Good afternoon all. It's very nice meeting all you here, to the leaders. I belong to Belai. I am a VR surgeon and I have a small retina setup in Belai. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. Dr. Devendra Venkatramani. He hasn't. Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Devendra. I am a retina specialist. I practice at Lakshmi Eye Institute in Panvel.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Dr. Dhruvo Jyoti Sarkar. Not here. Dr. Prithvi Chandrakant. Dr. P.S. Chalapati Reddy. Yes.
I'm Dr. I'm associate professor at Kurnool Medical College presently, but earlier I was at Tirupati Medical College. I practice at Tirupati now because I moved to Kurnool. I have to stop.
Oh, nice. All the best. Next is Dr. Anamika Dwivedi.
Myself, Dr. Anamika Dwivedi. I am Associate Professor in Rewa Medical College, Madhya Pradesh.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Bhupesh Singh. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Dr. Ramesh Babu.
Dr. Ramesh Babu Gobili. I am from Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam. I trained from LDP Prasad Institute, Hyderabad, and then I worked as a consultant in Max Vision Eye Hospital. Then I started recently Supersight Eye Hospital at Visakhapatnam.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Parameshwar Kahalekar. Dr. Parameshwar is there? No. Okay. Dr. Prafulla Maharana.
Good afternoon everyone. Myself Dr. Prafulla Kumar Maharana. I am working as an associate professor in Cornea Cataract Refractive Unit, RP Center, AIMS, New Delhi. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Rahul Naveen Chandra Bhagda. Dr. Shalini Mohan. She didn't come. Dr. Shruti Kokar. Yes, introduce yourself.
Kochar Maru. I'm from Indore and I work as a head of the department and I'm also into management of a 300-bedded super specialty hospital.
Oh, nice. Dr. Siddharam Janti.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Siddharam Janti, Associate professor, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad. I am working as a cataract and medical retina.
Thank you. Dr. Siddharth Madan. Thank you. Dr. Tanya Gupta.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Tanya Gupta. I'm from Raipur. I'm a second generation ophthalmologist, and I'm currently doing my fellowship in phacoemulsification medical retina from Regional Institute Sitapur.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. Then Dr. Samendra Kharkur. You can talk loudly. Two of you should have a mic each.
Yeah,
no?
we have a mic.
Can the audio visual guy, one of you, come here? थोड़ा जल्दी आना है.
Good part to know that majority are all associate professors. Huh? They are going to be the LDP candidates. So the future of all the postgraduates are very good. It's very heartening to see that we have such good LDP inductees. Right? Satyajit?
Yes.
Good afternoon all. I'm Dr. Samendra Kumar Karkur. I'm working as assistant professor in AIMS Bhopal and working in the retina uvea and ROP services.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Kaushik Murli. I think we need to learn leadership from you, Kaushik.
All the leaders are already
all the associate professors.
No. 300 bedded hospital.
It actually puts so much stress into me that, oh my God, what do we do to keep them entertained?
I'm Dr. Kaushik.
I'm
Kaushik. I'm a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Your mic is off.
Mic is off.
So I'm Kaushik. I'm a pediatric ophthalmologist as a clinician. I double hat as head of medical administration, quality and education at the Shankrai Foundation.
Oh, thank you.
Covering the entire country.
Yeah. Dr. Lakshmaya. खत्म हो जाएगा.
Practitioner.
Okay, thank you. हाँ, 10 खत्म हो जाएगा. Dr. Deepti Chauhan. Yeah.
Hello.
Dr. Deepti Chauhan is not there. Dr. Nutan Kumar. Dr. Chibuika Paul. सब नहीं है. Dr. Dasari Gayatri. She needs a mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Gayatri Dasri. I finished DO, DNB and did my fellowship in cornea. I'm right now working in Geetham Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, Vishakhapatnam.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Rajneesh Singh. Dr. Rishikesh Mai. Yes.
I'm Dr. Rishikesh Mai. I did my post-graduation and fellowship from Shankar Nethralaya. I worked in Eye Care Hospital, Noida and Center for Sight. Presently, since last 10 years, I am into managing my own eye center, Avdut Nethralaya in Nagpur.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Dr. Rolika Bansal. Not there. Dr. Samarth Agarwal.
Ma'am.
Oh, Rolika. Yes, Rolika Bansal. Yes.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dr. Rolika Bansal. I did my post-graduation in KLE Belgaum. I am currently doing my fellowship in ocular oncology and oculoplasty at Center for Sight. So probably I'm the young leader here, sorry. But I'm working under the mentorship of Dr. Santosh Onawar sir right now. Thank you.
ये नहीं work कर रहा है. Dr. Samarth Agarwal.
Hi, good evening. I'm Samarth. I'm from Lucknow. I'm a retina specialist. We run the largest ROP program there, and it's good to be here.
Oh, nice. Dr. Shivna Thakur. Dr. Shivna, not there. Dr. Amar Pujari.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Amar Pujari. I'm RP Center. I'm working as assistant professor at RP Center. So I did my MD from RP Center and SRC from there only.
Okay.
Currently, I'm practicing stuff. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Anshu Khare.
Very good evening to everyone.
I'm Dr. Anshu Khare. I'm from Indore, and presently I'm doing my private practice. And recently I have started expanding my center by the name of Sudarshan Eye Hospital. I have been practicing cataract and medical retina since many years, and I finished my fellowship from Suraj Eye Institute, Nagpur.
Dr. Rajesh Joshi, another leader.
He the leader is a leader.
My president is here. Myself, Dr. Rajesh Joshi. I am working as an associate professor at GMC Nagpur and secretary of Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society.
Dr. Vidya Bhushan Kumar.
Good afternoon. I'm Vidya Bhushan Kumar from Patna. I did my UG from Stanley and postgraduate diploma from Madras Medical College.
Oh wow. Patna and Stanley and Madras Medical College.
Ulta.
Ulta ho gaya.
From AIO Patna and then came back Chennai again and work as assistant consultant in Shankar Netale and Agrawal Eye Hospital Chennai 1 year, and then back to RIO Patna and working as still senior resident in glaucoma service for past 3 years.
Oh nice. Very interesting. So
he's doing very good work.
Yeah. Your name is Vidya Bhushan. Bhushan. Okay. Dr. Tripti Kadam.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. Myself Dr. Tripti Kadam. I did my UG-PG from Sion Hospital, Mumbai. Did my comprehensive fellowship with pediatric ophthal, strabismus and neuro-ophthal from LV Prasad, Hyderabad. I am been practicing as a private practitioner past 9 years in Nagpur. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. Dr. Neha Deshpande.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Neha Deshpande. I'm a second generation ophthalmologist looking after anterior segment, and I'm also practicing for last 7-8 years in Nagpur.
And
I'm also at present president of Ophthalmological Society, Nagpur.
Oh wow, very nice. So that's why I think I sensibly said we learn from each other. I said, Dr. Neeti Gupta.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Neeti Gupta. I'm an associate professor in AIMS Rishikesh, and I'm a cornea specialist plus a medical director of Rishikesh Eye Bank.
Oh, thank you. So now we are done with this, and we shall now go back to our program.
Chitra has got all the luminaries as LDP candidates.
Dr. Chitra, how did you market this? Like you already have people like Kaushik, people like Rajesh, and all the leaders here. I think very good marketing from the ARC.
Why marketing?
No, in the sense, so
you
many
can
good
be a
people
genuine person. Marketing
No.
means different. You
See,
heard what all they
I
said.
have been seeing LDP for last 10 years. I think you got the best of the talent this year, and you're okay.
Correct.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We clap for each other.
All the luminaries are there this time as LDP
I think it's
candidates.
also very important for all the participants to know and remember that you have to attend all the 3 sessions. You must attend. Those who are absent, there will be a big question mark of whether they will be given the final certification or not. So you are attending the first one for initiation, but you have to attend the second and the third also, whether it's physical or virtual. That's very important.
Yeah, we'll try our best to work out the best ways for you. So now we have the first debate. I don't know, some of them may have come. I hope the 2 contestants are there against each other. The Dr. Mayur Gupta against Dr. Krishna Bhojwani. Mayur Datta. Where is Dr. Krishna Bhojwani? Okay. So the topic of the debate is, the time of talk is 4 minutes. 4 minutes. And the discussion time is 2 minutes. The debate topics are, word of mouth referral is adequate for the growth of the organization. Hey, please. Word of mouth referral is adequate for the growth of the organization would be debated by Dr. Mayur Gupta Datta, and Dr. Krishna Bhojwani would say that external marketing is equally important. I think that's very relevant. So on to you, Dr. Mayur.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman ARC, Madam, for giving me this opportunity. I am audible?
Yeah, you could be louder.
Yeah. So I'll be speaking on word of mouth referral, whether it is adequate for the growth of an organization or not. So in this era of social media and hyper-connected world, word of mouth referral or advertising is nothing but it's simple word of mouth suggestions and recommendations which spread from one person to another. So a simple referral or recommendation can have far greater impact to seize and capitalize on the opportunity. So word of mouth refers to any type of recommendations by a satisfied patient to a prospective patient. So this can be a oral or a written, and it is very useful in establishing the credibility, recognition, the growth of a brand, business or a organization. In our case, it's a hospital or a clinic. So best example is Main Jhukega Nahi. So nobody knew in the north and western, or I belong to northeast, about Allu Arjun, about this film. It's by mere word of mouth publicity. This film has grossed 1,200 crores of business without any advertisement during COVID era. So why word of mouth is an effective and inexpensive way to advertise, attract, win over the customers and patients. When people talk positively about us as a medical professional, our services or our organization, so it helps to build the trust and recognition. So why it is important? Because patients normally trust their friends and family. A study has shown that 92% of consumers, it was a study on the consumers, but patients in our case, believe that suggestions and recommendations from family and friends help in selecting the product, or in case a doctor is the product. So trust encouraged by the word of mouth significantly affects the growth of an organization by directly influencing the intention to accept a service and indirectly influencing the perceived usefulness. So there can be different forms of word of mouth, like the recommendation or referral by conversation in social media, satisfied customers sharing their positive responses in personal contacts, or customer reviews in third-party applications like Google, Facebook, or writing blogs. So relevance of word of mouth for a major stakeholder in healthcare sector, it's one of the important stakeholder, patients have every right and are increasingly demanding to be integrated into both the choice of the healthcare provider as well as the treatment. So even though patients are nowadays better educated and have improved access to various online information than a decade ago, but seeking healthcare information still is a complex process. So in this context, the most important source of credible and trustworthy information is the personal experience through word of mouth. So advantages of word of mouth, like free of cost advertising, credibility and a reliable form of advertising. So it is the most reliable and credible and is driven by authentic experience of the patients. Effective way to create trust and loyalty. Then word of mouth forms a community and not a commodity. That is, a word of mouth works to build a community of engaged patients. So higher the engagement, more the recommendations and more revisits, and it generates a high lifetime loyalty. So word of mouth referral build a social proof also. So, but finally, it all depends on the growth. So most important, word of mouth generates more sale than paid marketing. So we cannot underestimate the power of the word of a common man, because the word of mouth is a force of nature, and word of mouth travels faster than anything else. So I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very crisp and enough. So Dr. Krishna. And I think after that I would take a question with each of you. You could sit here. At the end, the completion certificates would be given off to the 2021 batch.
So, good afternoon everyone, and I thank the Leadership Development Program to allow us this platform, and especially Chitra Madam, to debate on this topic. So, there is a constant stress in investing in infrastructure sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. There is a constant stress for the beginners to invest in infrastructure, equipments, even maintain the human resources, and above all, to pay for the EMIs. And above that, there is improved standard of care and it's going faster actually. Sorry. Yes, that's what it's saying. And with the increasing competition and the corporates coming into the picture, we have even more stress for the newcomers actually. So there is a saying that it takes around 1,000 days or 3 years to break even or to make the profits. So if we go by my colleague's way, we'll be riding on a bullock cart and reaching the destination, but at the cost of our time actually. So how many of you remember this brand actually? It was a pioneer or this thing in the cameras and reels, but they did not shift from traditional to the digital cameras, so they are now non-existing basically. So marketing is the process of identifying the customer needs and determining how best to meet those needs. Basically, how many of you are here doing private practice? And how many of you have your website and web page? So you're already doing your marketing basically. So we don't need to say more than that actually. But there is, we are not allowed to market ourselves or advertise legally in India, but in US and UK they are allowed. But there is already an alternative. As law-abiding citizens, we have to pay the taxes, but there is always a gateway to find some excuse or some way to save our taxes. Similarly, we have our way to market ourselves, and the way is to go digital. And there are various platforms available from Insta, Facebook, and WhatsApp actually, where we can market ourselves. There is a fast trending change. Initially, it used to be a traditional way going to this marketing through the newspapers and all those things. But now, with the coming of the era, with the mobiles becoming so cheap and the internet becoming so available, so it's all becoming digital. And the way we are consuming our entertainment is from traditional to the digital way. So there is a study that the patients, they are already browsing their elements and they're taking the appointments through online, and they're coming to the hospitals after reviewing the reviews. And that study shows that 52% of the consumers search online for the doctors or the hospitals actually. So there is the shift in the, there is this graph showing it's a shift from the traditional to the digital marketing, and India is fast catching up to this trend actually. And it's easier to the patients if they search on the online. If you have a good website, they go and search and they have all the facilities available. So it becomes very easy at home, at your own place. You can do all the searches actually. We should have a responsive website which should be quick on laptop, tablets, even mobiles, so that it should be conveyed to the all the patient cares actually, even on the mobile also or on the laptop also. So having your digital presence is your 24/7 appearance on the digital market, so the patients can assess you anytime throughout the day actually, and that's what is the most important. The digital marketing is not only to market yourselves, but you can have the feedbacks from the patients. They can praise you, they can have good referrals from you. You can do gentle feedback from the patients, but you have to do it. We have to facilitate the feedbacks from the patients, we have to do it gently. It's easy to market your brands. We can reach out to the thousands or the lakhs of the peoples at the same time. But with the word of mouth, it's become difficult. And it takes very long time to reach to that kind of market actually.
But your name will come in the
We
next
can
list.
have a customization, and
So
if
I
we
might
can
be
target
having
the,
your name. You're writing
we
his
can
name.
have a
I have
target
his name.
audience or target patients. If you're a glaucoma specialist, you can put up videos of the glaucomas or blogs or the post of the glaucoma. The patient can search through it and they can contact you. So we can customize on the internet actually. And this is basically a we can monitor our this thing. This is a digital analysis. We can see what kind of revenues we are putting in and what are the outputs we are getting out of, which is not possible for the traditional marketing or the word of mouth marketing. So return of investment can be better in this.
You should conclude.
Yeah, please. So extensive, we can have extensive target options. It can reach to the target market also. Instead of mailing out flyers to everyone, you will be reaching to the patients who are actively searching for your services. So the take home is, this is a fast changing trend and we need to adapt to the new ways. Traditional way is time tested, but it's very slow. But the technique, both the technique has to be adapted to get the return on investment. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I want you all there, but I'm going to take the question with the expert panel. So you join in late. So the topic of debate was word of mouth referral is adequate, Dr. Ajay, and external marketing is equally important was against. So I'm going to, in this debate, I'm going to ask Malika Goel one question and I would ask Dr. Krishnan Prasad. So Dr. Malika Goel, now word of mouth referral is adequate was what was argued. How can sustained growth be possible without the modern sources of external marketing? I felt you might be for this talk.
Well, I think word of mouth, definitely the quality of loyalty of the patient will be much higher. So quality is higher, but honestly, you need the other also. You need to have your other ways of having your own website. Now, word of mouth also comes in form of Google reviews, which becomes a type of advertising.
Yeah.
So, so
yes,
both are important actually.
Yeah. But Dr. Krishnan Prasad, the cost of
just word of mouth alone may not be enough.
The cost of external marketing and inability to monitor the PROs. Like when you do external marketing, besides the social media, you need to appoint PROs to move around and all that. But you are not able to exactly track their activity. Are they really doing what they are doing? And are you justifying the payment which they are asking? You know, there are issues there. So what are your thoughts on external marketing?
I think we have reached a stage, probably without an external marketing, I think we can't do business now.
Yeah.
It was possible probably in the past with small localized communities where there was not much of a networking, only people had to tell and they would probably trust each other. But the very important thing what they probably missed out is people don't spread the good word. They spread the bad word more.
Yeah.
So one bad patient will prevent 100 from coming, where a good patient may not get you another 4. So good word may not spread. So the word of mouth can work boomerang. In fact, if you do a bad service. So sending every patient satisfied properly is the key, whether you have marketing or not. That is the best marketing. But having said that, now in the present era where people are linked to their digital devices, they seek information from outside. I think it's very important to say, if you are good, who will know that you are good? So there has to be, so the cost that is incurred in the external marketing, okay, is sometimes well spent. But only thing is you need to plan it properly. You need to do your own customization. You just can't believe some marketing executive or some consultant put money everywhere. You need to understand whether you are reaching the target population. Number one, now there are a lot of metrics to understand whether your marketing is reaching the place or not. Even on Google, you know that what is the open rate, how many people have seen it, how many people have come back. There are a lot of things that are available inbuilt in the system to know that where is your money going. But at the same time, you don't have to be a spendthrift, put a lot of money in marketing. You need to be cautious, but since all the people are there who are entrepreneurs and they understand, external marketing, digital marketing is the way forward. But you have to be little, careful about the
cautious in meeting.
Cautious, and you have to
choose the right decision to tailor make to your practice.
But at the same time, having a satisfied patient at the end of the day is probably the most important marketing.
Now we go on to our next section of debate. Thank you very much. Nice debates. It's Dr. Anil Kumar Singh and Dr. Rohan Kumar. Both of you are there? Okay. So Dr. Anil Kumar Singh is going to debate on community ophthalmology and private practice complement each other. And against him would be Dr. Rohan Kumar, who would say that community ophthalmology and private practice are mutually exclusive. Actually, inclusive was it. Yeah, inclusive. Hey, both of you.
Both of you, come here.
A very good afternoon, everyone present here. First of all, I'll give my thanks to Chitra ma'am, ARC chairman, my friend Satyajit Sinha sir, ARC member, and all my ARC member plus my teachers, seniors, my few of my friends. Basically, the topic given to me is community ophthalmology private practice. They complement each other. When I was going through it, I was thinking what not to say, but I was not able to find out much more. So when we look after community medicine, it's community medicine in India is basically when we go through, it's all nutrition, environmental nutrition. Natarajan sir is also, sorry sir, I missed. Basically, when we talk about community medicine, it's community ophthalmology. It's a use of appropriate strategies and method to reduce the burden of eye disease in a community. That we do both way, by either with the help of when we are in tertiary center and when we are doing private practice, we really do the same work. The practice of community ophthalmology actually involves the assessment and extent of the problem of the eye disease and socioeconomic impact of blindness on the community. And second is finding and applying the most appropriate eye care solution for the specific community. Actually, community ophthalmology is a new discipline where promoting eye health and blindness prevention through program utilizing methodologies of public health, community medicine and ophthalmology. Basically, use of community medicine is a strategy to critical to positive outcome, and when given a population composed of poor, rural, other minorities who are chronically underserved with regards to all sector of health. When we talk about public health and ophthalmology, it's a communicable disease, environmental sanitation, these all have been in the community have been going long way. But when we talk on community in a primary eye care, we are missing there, like corneal injuries, or if you are in a rural area, we have more of corneal ulcer, glaucoma leading to blindness then we squints, then oculoplastic neuro. These diseases, they are hardly covered in a community medicine as such. So when we talk about primary care in India, we talk about nutrition first, we talk about maternal and child health, we talk about family planning, we talk about environmental sanitation, but primary eye care is lacking out there. So when we see what we are doing in private practice and community medicine, we have to do the same work, but at a private practice we do it on a smaller scale, and in the community medicine we do on a larger scale. Like all these diseases, when we go through, we have the same problem arising everywhere. So private practice versus community medicine, what we see is what are the positive attitudes, what is there and what is not there in the private practice. So the pros of positive points with community medicine with private practice is community medicine when we are in tertiary center, it helps to improve professional literature early in the career. It appeal for teaching. If somebody is in a tertiary center, when dealing more with the community medicine, community eye care, he has teaching ability more and help in enhancing the professional reputation. Whereas when we go to other way, the doctors on academic positions are usually underpaid and no interactions with other specific doctor and no intellectual pursuits. So stability, when we talk about community and private practice, it's the same thing, but we are do on a large and a smaller scale. So there are compelling advantages to both academic and private practice. What really comes down is determining which environment is best suited to your personality and the way you want to practice medicine. Dr. Fish has this advice. Since ophthalmology is consumes a great deal of our lives, I recommend choosing a path that coincides with your belief, philosophy, personality and lifestyle. Whether that path lead to academics or private practice, the final outcome should be practicing the art and science of ophthalmology to the best of your abilities. And that's what, either at a smaller scale or with a larger scale, when we are dealing, they really complement. It's depend on us how to deal at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anil. That was nice. And we'll hear from Dr. Rohan. And before we go on to that talk, I would want to, the two discussants for this, I would want Dr. Ramesh Dore Rajan to tell that community ophthalmology and private practice do not complement each other. Dr. Ramesh, the second one. And community ophthalmology and private practice complement each other. Dr. Ajay, you will take it? Okay. Okay, right. Okay.
Namaste and good evening to everyone. Thank you so much, Scientific Committee, AIOS, ARC, for giving this opportunity to debate on this very pertinent topic, community ophthalmology versus private practice. I will be speaking against it. I'm community ophthalmologist myself and clinician myself, so I'm a bit in a dilemma that what should I speak. But at the end of this lecture, this talk, you would be understanding how community and clinical practices are complementing each other, but at the same time.
No, but when you debate, you have to imagine yourself in a situation. Yeah. Both of you can't talk the same things.
Yeah. The community ophthalmology is also known as public health ophthalmology or preventive ophthalmology, and it deals with preventive, promotive, curative, rehabilitative, and this kind of aspects. The transition of medical education institution to the era of community medical practice started from 1960, following the Alma Ata Declaration, where it is spoken of health for all by 2000. So it started from them there, and at the dawn of 2020, we had universal healthcare. Reaching the unreached with an aim to provide affordable, accessible, and accountable eye care for both curable and incurable blindness was the theme. The community ophthalmology deals with the primordial prevention like IEC, environmental hygiene, healthy dietary practice. Primary prevention includes decreasing primarily focusing on decreasing the new cases, which, for example, measles immunization, vitamin A supplement, preventing unhealthy birth practices. Secondary prevention, which is aimed at early detection and treatment, lowering the established case in the community. For example, screening for cataracts and glaucoma. Tertiary disability control, rehabilitation. So role of community ophthalmology, as we have seen, that examining the problem in the community and the population, investigating them, then second stage is issuing a defined solution for it, and thirdly the dissemination of the information and carrying out the comprehensive eye care services, which includes vitamin A supplement, school vision screening, primary eye care, training of PEC workers. Strategies include planning at general or base hospital, training of various cadres, and advocacy at government at national level. So distinction between clinical ophthalmology and community ophthalmology is the goal for clinical ophthalmology is treating and caring, while community ophthalmology is in addition to treatment and care, community participation, preventive approach, health education and promotion, community-based rehabilitation, and epidemiological research. Target here in clinical ophthalmology means private practice is single patient, while that of community ophthalmology is population or community. Diagnosis by physical examination, lab test. Community ophthalmology by health surveys and studies. Therapy, surgical, and medicine. In community ophthalmology, in addition to that, health education, counseling. Base is at clinic and community, at clinic as well as community. Relationship between doctor and patient, here in community, doctor, patient, community volunteers, and social workers, health workers. Patient mobilization is low, in community it is high. Accessibility and affordability, it is not flexible in clinical one, while in community it is patient friendly. Research interest mostly clinical, and in community it is clinical as well as public and population and community surveys. Clinical ophthalmology is mostly provider driven, while community ophthalmology is consumer driven, community driven. In my opinion, the private practice and community ophthalmology, they do not go well with each other. And
I think your time is over. You can't.
I'm done.
And anyway, you have done one confusion. You have said the same thing.
Yeah, actually.
Actually.
You are a very good community ophthalmologist.
To me was exclusive, and the previous speaker.
Very inclusive guy. Very inclusive. He takes the community with him.
But
including the debater.
At the same time, I just differentiated between clinical and community ophthalmology. So that last slide was like giving a clear-cut distinction. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My question to Dr. Ramesh is, Dr. Ajay Arora would take that.
Ramesh
Dr. Ramesh Dore Rajan, what do you say?
नहीं अजय अरोड़ा को बोलना है.
No, Ajay Arora has to talk. Yeah. Now, when you say, I think Dr. Ajay Arora, I don't know whether you can talk on this. The question which I'm asking is, community ophthalmology and private practice complement each other was the first debate. Now, these are very diverse in principles. So, if you were to do both, would you keep separate wings and separate centers, or you would have both of them piling on in the same area?
I'll answer it by giving an example, ma'am.
Yeah.
So this project started way back in '97 with Shroff Charity Eye Hospital.
Yeah.
It's a living example for community ophthalmology and private practice. That time when I was there, we started off the initial few centers of community ophthalmology. We got associated with Orbis. We did a lot of community ophthalmology work. We have over 43 centers now, maybe our figure is a little more. So basic concept of community ophthalmology is preventive care for the community, detecting complications on time, directing complicated cases which cannot be handled at the community center to the main center where private practice is being done. So when the community ophthalmology grew, the private practice also grew.
Yeah,
we
definitely.
have the problem comes with monetary this thing for the community and private practice. So we had to create two separate pathways of entry.
Yes.
Community enters one pathway, private practice enters the other pathway, but the end treatment given to all is similar.
Okay, right.
That
I
is
agree.
all it
Yes. Dr. Ramesh, you have to keep your eyes open.
Yes, ma'am. The question is,
the question to you is, the question to you is, do you hold off giving concessions to a particular patient because you're not doing community ophthalmology, you are doing private practice.
Yes.
So then, would you help out those poorer patients by giving concessions, or you work on a fixed cost only?
Answer is very simple. Trained at Shankar Netralaya, anybody comes in, gets the treatment that he deserves. If he can pay, he will pay. Luckily, I'm in a part of India where 99% of my patients can afford to pay whatever I charge them. But there will be walk-ins who can't pay. They'll get free treatment, they'll get free drops, and there'll be a few who will get free surgeries. But we don't promote it. Okay. See, the whole question of community ophthalmology is not doing cataract surgery in bulk and getting money from some source and then making it cost effective. Community ophthalmology, like what was explained, is totally different. It is preventive, it is social. You're trying to prevent blindness, you're trying to educate the people, you're trying to do school screening camps. And such a thing for 1.4 billion population can only be done by the government. It's a very, very big project. So majority of the doctors, ophthalmologists who are in private practice cannot enter community ophthalmology because it's a big ocean.
Yeah. So, thank you. Now we shall go on to the next group, Dr. Pavan Kumar and Dr. Parul Ichpujani. Now, Dr. Pavan is going to be debating on constantly upgrading to cutting edge technology is essential. And Dr. Parul is going to say a stable middle level technology is the way to go. And again, constantly upgrading to cutting edge technology is essential, is going to be later argued by Dr. Natarajan, and stable middle level technology is the way to go, is to be dealt by Dr. Jignesh. Okay, right. So now, yes, on to you, Dr. Pavan.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
4 minutes, please. 4 minutes. No. 4 minutes only.
4 मिनट 4
4
मिनट लगे.
मिनट. हाँ, उसमें 4 मिनट दिखाना है. ये क्या हो गया यार, वो रिजल्ट फाइनल करना है. फाइनल नहीं, फाइनल के लिए you have to go.
Okay, you can start now.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So my topic here is constantly upgrading to cutting edge technology is essential. I am talking towards it.
No,
Set not moving.
I have to ask her.
Yes. So the only thing that is constant is change. So we have to keep changing so that we have to be in the trend. So first we should know what is cutting edge technology. So cutting edge is an adjective used to describe the newest, most advanced version of a product or a surface. It need not be a technology like a new machine. It can be our own surgery, it can be our own technique, or it can be our own way of approaching. So is there a need to constantly keep upgrading? My answer is yes. Let's see what are the reasons. So for me, the top 3 reasons are: first, we should know why the new technology is developed. The new technology is developed because the older technology has some problem. So that's why the inventor has thought about it and found a solution for it. So we have to accept that. In some cases, the new technology highlights the problem which was there in the older technology, which we would not have really realized. The first thing is to fix problem better. So the newer technology is better than the older technology, which can improve us in doing our efficacious work. It can reduce adverse effects, can give better outcome, and overall better patient satisfaction. So that will also increase our patient input. The second thing is match the best practice which is there available in the market. So what is the prevailing standard? What is best for the patient and also for us? So that we have to adopt. And we all know that patient before coming to us will always do a research and know what are the advances happening. So we'll definitely come and ask us what is the best and what we can do best for the patient. And we can be early mover when we adopt, and we can be established faster and lead the industry. The third, it benefits the organization also. How it attracts the best talent. Once it can be a staff, it can be doctor, knows that that best cutting technology is there in that organization, they would like to approach us, they want to stay with us and work more. It benefits the patient as well as the organization, and the organization can become the leader in the industry. So we have to ready to adapt to changes. That is the key to success. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, debate has to be crisp. Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Parul would be speaking.
Well, good evening. I'll be talking about stable mid-level technology is the way to go. How do you move it? From here?
Just a minute. It is from here.
All right. Thank you. So are there any FIFA lovers here? Yes, then I'd just like to ask you a question. Do you think League 1 or 2 are anyway less than the Premier League? So I don't really think so, and I don't really think that mid-level technology is anyway less than advanced technology. Let's just have a look at the word scenario. Nearly 70% of the world is still living under the tag of developing nations, and all these developing nations have to carry the burden of public health infrastructure, and everybody having an access to advanced technology at all times is not possible. Also, we have to consider when and why to procure new technology. It's not always that the previous technology has become redundant, as the previous speaker spoke. It definitely makes us better clinicians, it improves the care, it makes our practice better, but it has to make financial sense, as we have been listening to it since morning. So finance is definitely big, but does it address the major issues in your practice? So if you look at this Lean Six Sigma technique, which was studied for outpatients in ophthalmology clinics, it showed that scheduling, staffing, patient education, and clinical processes, they formed the first prime 4 major hurdles. So it's the soft skills that actually make more difference than just adding on tech. You have good fancy equipment and your staff is rude, no patient is going to turn on your door. Then quality and efficiency are also not directly proportional. put up in American Academy, shown by Dr. Joseph Caprioli, that even in the best of the centers in the US, quality and efficiency, they don't run hand in hand. How fast can you keep up with the change? That depends upon the setup you're working in. Where the solo practitioners can keep up with the change as fast as a group practice or as an institution. Laws are different for public sector as well as private sector. In public sector, I work in a medical college, and we have to buy everything through GEM portal, and there are like a zillion formalities. Even if I want to keep pace with the best of the best centers, it is going to take me time. And by the time my whole process is through, a new tech is on the corner. The choices and investments in healthcare, you have to now think to add or not to add, because it's basically driven by cost-benefit criteria. Of course, we don't want to compromise on the standard of care, but adding new tech does not mean that all your standard of care criteria would be met. Plus, we have to think the patient's perspective also in mind. Are all the patients having access to insurance? And most of the times in India, there's no concept of co-payment. Now, I'll talk in the language that I best understand, that's the language of glaucoma, because I'm a glaucoma practitioner. So when it comes to diagnostics, all that glitters is not gold. I understand it was time that we moved from shiots to ablanation, but it's not time for everybody to jump on to a ORA or a DCT, because GAT has stood the test of time. It is reproducible in all scenarios, and therefore there's no need to change from a GAT to a DCT for everybody. The technologies are expensive and not interchangeable. Again, I will apply the concept of Lean Six Sigma. We need to have a Humphrey perimeter, but it's not essential for me to have an edge perimeter or a compass perimetry. The same applies to ancillary testing in glaucoma as well. Is it absolutely needed? I mean, most of the times you will be just wondering, should I buy it, should I buy it not? It's not like finding a nice partner for yourself. It also applies for choices for surgery and implants. EDOF lenses do well. Mid-level technology, I have yet to find somebody who is absolutely happy with an accommodative IOL. So mid-level technologies, you buy something when the absolute soda effect has fizzled out, when the technology has stood the test of time, it has been proven to be efficacious in at least an intermediate course of time. When you see that it's working well, having efficacy and safety, then go and buy it. And then, of course, you can provide the best service.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So good.
Very nice. So we have Dr. Natarajan. You can't sleep. You are in LDP program.
I'm not
He's
sleeping.
literally sleeping. We can't always provide dance floors for him. Okay, so you have to, in very one or two lines, you have to tell that constantly upgrading to cutting edge technology is essential. Why? Just 2 lines.
Yeah, so I think constantly upgrading essential is important. As he said, change is a constant thing. So I think, and then you also have the first advantage, first mover advantage.
Yes.
And second, you also definitely do the good to the patient.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very well said. Dr. Jignesh, 2 lines only for you.
Cost benefit ratio is very important, as she rightly said. If you cover that, 90% of your patient are well satisfied, and whatever the upgradations are there is not very essential, as rightly put up by Parul. So she has already covered majority of the points.
Yes.
So I would rest my case saying that, of course, mid-level technology is sufficient for 90% of the patient who are satisfied very well. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very crisply said.
Okay, that's it.
Hello, Namrata.
You have
हाँ?
Krishna.
कहाँ है?
अरे ठंडा हो जाएगा यार लो.
Where is it? Which room?
But it's a very good topic and a very relevant topic.
Yes.
Which first floor, second floor?
I think what Parul said was right, that let the storm settle down, then you go and
Yes,
work
yes.
on
I
it.
think even the
Next
prices
team
will
would
probably
be Dr.
leverage on
Amarna
that.
Khanna and Dr. Shamantha Setti. Yeah, you're speaking on a practice can grow constantly in a single location.
Yeah. And the other person. Okay. 1 minute. Who's the opposite? Shamata Shetty. Shamata Shetty. So you announce it loudly, the 2 topics, please. You all.
Yes. A practice can grow constantly in a single location versus for a practice to grow, multiple locations are a necessity.
Okay. Now for this, again, practice can grow in a single location Malika Goel will argue it in 2 lines, and Dr. Krishna Prasad is going to say multiple locations are necessary.
App, they're already making inroads.
Okay, start.
Is a
So
double
very
yum,
good
no?
afternoon
Single
to
yum.
everybody, and
Aman.
thanks to the committee to giving me this opportunity.
I have to.
So I am going to talk about a practice that grow constantly in a single location.
Could you speak into the mic or lift the mic a little? Your voice is a little low.
Listen, I need to go to.
Presentation is not okay. ये slide नहीं चल रहा है. Slide नहीं चल रहा है. Slide नहीं चल रहा है.
अरे भैया ये क्या है?
So to begin with, I'll begin with the ABC of the private practice, in which A is your availability. So if you are available in your private practice, then only you have a chance to show your competence. So only because you are available, you will have a chance to uplift your practice in a particular area. So now imagine these patients turning up to your OPD and how thankful they would be to you for their entire life that you were present for them in their time of at their time of crisis. So when you practice in a particular area and you give your time and energy, you are basically nurturing your roots for the years to come, and eventually you note that your name and goodwill start spreading in that area, and you give to touch more and more lives. And eventually you note that not only few patients but more and more families gets joined with you, and there's a good word of mouth spreading in that area which will definitely need to increase in the number of referrals to your hospital. And eventually the word of mouth increases and the cost of marketing decreases, and definitely when these cost decreases, everybody has limited financial budgets for their practice, so you can spend that extra amount on your infrastructure and provide better eye care services at an affordable cost. So now the next most important thing for a private practitioner is focus, not even as a private practitioner but also as a surgeon. So when your focus is clear, you can channelize your energy in a single direction, and the road to success becomes clear. And if the focus is disturbed, it leads to aberrations, and who can better understand aberrations better than an ophthalmologist? So we have the same 24 hours, and you are a doctor by profession and not a driver. So the choice is yours, whether you want to stuck into the traffic jams or you want to spend that extra time in getting more patients and creating more happy patients. And mind you, we have to struggle our ways through these traffic jams, and these jams are not so sweet even for the most calm and composed ones.
How you come down? No problem. Come.
So nowadays we are basically planning to move towards the follow-up, the appointment schedule, but still the majority of the patients which we see in our private practice doesn't follow the appointment culture. They may come anytime they want, and you may tend to lose those patients, and the entire purpose of running around gets lost. So if your focus is clear and you are available at your center, you achieve reliability factor in that particular area where you are practicing. So whenever you begin with your private practice, you begin with a set of core values. And as we know that ophthalmology is one of the most costliest branch, and it demands a lot of investment. So in this quest for quantity, we tend to burden ourselves with huge expenses. And ultimately we plan to find ways to cut the cost, which sometimes may lead to decline in the quality, and which no ophthalmologist wants. And we allow ourselves to enter into the rat race on quality versus quantity. So at the end, I want to say that if you are available, you are patient, your focus is clear, and your patients start considering you as reliable, you can strike out a balance between quantity and quality. And it takes months to attract a footfall and seconds to lose it. So there is enough in this world for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. Thank you.
Dr. Shamanta.
शमंता नहीं है, शमंत शेट्टी। ये जब इतना सेटअप पे इसको देख रहे हैं,
Very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for the ARC. Thank you everyone for your kind attention here. It's nice to be back after a very long time. So let's start. So as my colleague said, it's all not about your greed or about you being alone or like you being to be the main center face and try to do everything on your own. So once like you, it's not moving? Yeah, so now you already got your decent practice up. You're already getting your usual OT numbers. Your OPDs are running at the same like the numbers what monthly you're getting. But there has to be something new. You need your new patients to come. You need your new OT numbers to come. You need something new to happen. So basically, when you've already reached your stagnant growth, that means your bucket list is already ticked off. You're already like your name is there. Your word of mouth is there. There is like your individual authenticity, what you want as a person or your hospital, that's already been there. So what do you want to do more? You don't need to compete with anyone else, but you compete with yourself. You need to better yourself. So that's where like, you know, you need to have a competition with yourself and you need to penetrate the market and develop new strategies for yourself. So that's where like, you know, you try to cover new areas. You want to like get into a new team. You want new growth strategies to improvise yourself. So that's where like still like you have to hold on to your core values. That doesn't mean like you have to change it. So your core values define what your institution or what your values are. Money will come automatically on your own, but that doesn't need to be a single motivator for that. You stick to your ethics, you stick to your strengths, and then you keep going on. Yeah. Your vision and mission of your hospital has already got you to a place, but right now after that, the next stage is to become a brand. Why do you need to become a brand? Because people need to know what you give, what you bring to the table, what is special about you, your practice, the way you run the show, the way you do things. So that's what people need to know. So what do? Like if you're trying to do an alliance with someone, yes, so already there's an existing person there. You're going to provide him the little bit of equipments. You're going to teach him a little bit here and there about you. So that's going to give you a faster growth. But if you're going to acquire something, it doesn't mean that you need to go and acquire a big building and you start like a big hospital. You do a small centers too. You do like small satellite centers, which is going to give you a good income, which is going to give you a brand value lift. But that's going to take time, but it's well worth the wait. So basically, to summarize it, it's about your impression of the hospital, what people will know, like what it is to do service with you and what you bring to the table. So that's what your brand value that is going to take you places. So conclusion is, see, all these things are a newer way of perfecting your fundamentals. That's how you want to give a care to your patients, the patient's experience with you, and it's like an efficient process that can make or break your practice. See, any of the bigger hospitals, what you see, it's not they're just going place by place, be it Arvind, be it any of the thing. It is their brand. Why do they want to build it? It's the same strategy. They need people to know what they're providing, and that's what is going to take us places. Thank you.
Dr. Malika.
Yeah. I think both speakers have very valid points. I think the difference is both speakers have a valid point. The difference I think is that the first speaker was talking about a single person practice. In that situation, it's definitely, I think, superior to stay in one place, focus all your expenses, your time, your energy, everything in one place. And patients will come. Patients should come looking for you. There is no need for a single practitioner to go to 5 places. Patients from that place can come to this doctor. And the doctor is spending their time much better if they are staying in one place. So to that extent, that part is fine. But of course, if it's an institution where you have excessive manpower, resources, and you're not able to provide enough service in one place, you're overloaded, then you may want to open new centers. But for a single private practitioner, single place is enough.
Dr. KP.
I think what we cannot probably assume or presume in the today's practice is patient loyalty. Okay, and we cannot probably think that just because the brand, the patient will cross, travel 200 kilometers, come to us. So horizontal expansion, having multiple centers is the way to go. Okay, because after a point that you saturate that geography and you have to move across. So you have to actually, you already created a brand. So you have to actually capitalize on that brand, leverage on that brand to set another center. Okay, so that is your advantage. So when you have multiple centers, it's not about greed, it's about actually creating a high quality eye care network I think Arvind has shown the way. There are many centers, I mean, across all the new, I mean, chain of hospitals. Okay, all the present people are doing the buzzword is the chain of hospitals. So the chain of hospital is the way to go, because you create an equity, you create a brand, you create a network by which you can actually do a lot of things together. You can actually leverage on the brand.
That applies to institutions.
Yeah,
as I
institutions.
said, but it cannot apply
The
to a
single practitioner, probably he will have a tough life, personal life.
Absolutely, and he cannot provide the same quality if he's running between two places.
And also he has to shortcut the infrastructure. Infrastructure will be a compromise.
Energy is divided, time is divided, everything is divided.
Then just one comment. My impression is that Aravind Eye Hospital doesn't spread because they want to spread the brand or they want to capitalize on it. They find that people are coming long distances and they find the pockets from where those people are coming, and they start a center so that people can travel a shorter distance and have the same quality of care. So it's not that they want to promote the brand or they want to grow. I don't capitalizing on the brand is looking at it from a very from one perspective. Their perspective is let us provide eye care, and there's a huge population there that needs it, and they're coming all the way here to several hundred kilometers. So we'll start one more branch there. So it is not to spread the brand per se.
One small comment, like we always do the Google search and say restaurants near me.
Yes, yes.
No, but that cannot apply to that cannot apply totally.
Not an individual
So
actually,
I hope that won't eventually apply to medical care per se. We are not in that kind of. Unfortunately, it is.
Sometimes when you have little watering, itching, and all, they go to the nearby only.
But we are not looking at watering.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is, and people actually, that's the debate that goes on, that we are having intermediaries who are deciding which patient goes to which doctor instead of your personal abilities and care which the patient gets driven by. So it's unfortunate that we are having these intermediaries coming in between the doctor and the patient. I think let's go on. These are tough questions to
We would like to call the next speaker, please. Dr. Fazil Khorram. For a mid-level practice, clinical and management teams must be mutually exclusive. Dr. Fazil, please.
Good afternoon to all of you. So, if the clinical and mutual management team are mutually exclusive, you see a clear picture as if an orchid growing on a bark of tree, which are mutually exclusive. So, in our case, it would be a happy and a satisfied patient. According to AO, eye care is the provision of appropriate, accessible and affordable care that meets patient eye care need in a comprehensive and competent manner. To do this, our centers have been involved from straightforward sectors of advice to a complex organization. In popular perception, doctors and nursing staffs are equal to hospitals, where doctors do the clinical examination and do the surgeries, and nursing staff carry out the preparation of the operation trays and other investigation. But is this true? No. Like in a film, there are a lot of behind the scenes. Same goes in our hospital, such as patient care services, front office, pharmacy, cleanliness, staff lunch tea, staff leave management, staff salary, security staff, fire audits, waste management, and list goes on and goes on and on. If we clinicians become a superman and do all the things, this will lead to being involved in board meeting, carrying out the software bug in our EMR, and getting frustrated. So that would eventually lead to a long waiting time of the patient in our OPDs, less patient time, which will lead to an angry and a dissatisfied patient. We all know what an angry and dissatisfied patient can lead to. So who is a manager? Administration management is a set of day-to-day activities that are related to maintenance of an office building, financial planning, record keeping and billing, personal development, physical distribution and logistic within an organization. An employee that undertakes these activities is called an office administrator or office manager and plays a key role in infrastructure regardless of the skill, whether it's mid-level or a big organization. So healthcare manager is a skilled job requiring a skilled profession with skills such as communication, teamwork, planning, mentoring, problem solving, business administration and operation knowledge, patient care and even data analysis. Thus, a competent manager plays a crucial role in implementing various measures to patient inflow, quality, and care. The multi-team system, which studies the safety of the patient, takes administration as the base of the pyramid and the core team in the middle of it. So what are the benefits of having a mutually exclusive team? Reduce clinical error, improve processes outcome, increase patient satisfaction, increase staff satisfaction, and reduces malpractice claim. To summarize it, clinical and management team are exclusive, it would have independent working, more time for patient care, change can be easily implemented, and a great work-life balance. As a famous saying by a football coach, Vince Lombardi goes, individual commitment to a group effort, that it what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We would like to call Dr. Rakesh Shah, who will be speaking on office staff working under the guidance of clinicians would suffice.
KP,
you will
Dr.
cover-
KP,
KP, you will cover this
take
part.
this after this.
Palyajay, tab then you.
Slides, please.
Good evening, Chairman ARC and the ARC panel. I would like to differ with my colleague who has presented the office staff are totally exclusive. For any hospitals or any organizations, why as a clinician we are known as? Do we know ourselves as only how many patients do I see in a one day? No, that's not the current what we see. We really have to have multiple heads when we actually do our private practice or any of the hospital or institutional practice. So what are a clinician currently? A clinician is not only a clinical work who is doing, he works as an administrator, he's a manager, he's a CEO, he's an expert in the finance, and we as a medical person, we are actually have a capability to do all these things, and we really do it also. So then how do we manage? For every organization, there are certain foundation stone which has to be starts from when we have started our practice. So if you see, every hospital will have their critical staff who are working with that doctor from the beginning, from the start, and then he has expanded over that. So do we have correct answer? Yes. I would say there are few management skill which every doctor has a practitioner who actually go ahead and do it. He is an entrepreneur, he runs his business, he runs his clinical services, and he gets all these staffs. So my job as a clinician also has to find out few Kohinoor from my systems who are actually growing from starting as a receptionist to going to some counselor or actually become the HR head. With lot of quality control anyway coming, we actually promote our staff who is there from the beginning, from basic optometrist to going to a counselor who actually done with lot of quality work in our hospital. He is aware about the hospital systems and ecos. So I put staff as the most valuable investment where you are actually running my practice. But we need to really see, again, doctor becomes the biggest bottleneck in such system, and then we need to see that we identify good staff. So what is the key test? What the staffs are running? It is when you are absent, when you are in conference or we are out of the hospital, how well is the hospital is running, and that is where foundation comes up. So why do treat some staff, why doctors treat so staff so badly? They are not paid, they are not respected, they are overworked, and then all these problems comes and you have to depend on the management staff who are actually come into the system. With lot of corporates, it's the manager people who are running the doctor show and the doctors are just at one corner. So I actually put my system into the how I handle my staff with pay rise or appreciation or what are the other perks which I give to my staff. So ask your staff for the help. If you have any doubt, ask your staff from the ground. Even I ask my housekeeping staff, how do I improve my system? I ask my other staff, how do I go ahead with my other system? So build a patient service culture where I put my patient as a first and my staff is also part of the patients. So patient and staff who keeps our systems going on. So we need to identify right process, right staff and the right environment. So there are few basic stuff which I create for my staff. So these are the few things which I really go ahead. For everyone working in a doctors or any hospital is a difficult task to do, and that's the reason now a lot of people don't want to work in hospital, they want to go to the mall or the corporate sector. So improve your workflow. These are the things which you do is going to help, and all this beginner stuff will start from the beginning is going to help. Few commandment for your staff which will actually do it. So just think of one bad answer by a receptionist can lose your patient which actually come for the surgery. So these are the foundation staff which are really going to help and get your system ahead. So keep the final secret, treat all patients and even your staff as a VIP. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to request Dr. Ajay Arora to please comment on the first paper.
So I think to an extent it is
Mike.
Yeah, I think to an extent it is correct that in a mid-level practice, the clinical and management should be mutually exclusive, but this is mutually exclusive on a day-to-day basis. So when I'm seeing a patient, I'm focused on my clinical practice. My managers are doing their job, but we are complementing each other when the practice is over. So mutually exclusive on a day-to-day basis, but they're independent and working complementarily together in the overall picture. That's what I would say.
Thank you,
I
Dr.
think
Krishna.
it's a cultural thing, because now we need to understand the fine balance between how much is too much. Now there are corporate hospitals completely run by MBAs and MHAs, where the doctor has no say. Most times the end result is patient dissatisfaction, or there is some kind of a black mark that they're more financially driven. The balance sheets are more important than the patient outcomes, and there will be a lot of, sometimes there is a people do suspect the motives. Okay, I mean because the finance becomes most important. It's a commerce basically which runs the show. Where the doctors are at the helm, I think this may not happen. But at the same time, the doctor cannot really, being a trained clinician or surgeon, cannot really waste his time or talent in doing some mundane work which can be done by anybody else who is non-medical personnel. So I think there's a fine balance. Probably there has to be a critical policy thinking or policy making participation by the doctor, but at the same time the actual execution for the most level, for a mid-level hospital, can be done by people who have been accustomed to the culture of the hospital. That is very important.
So the ancillary staff should be developed as per your culture.
As per the doctor's ethos and culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while you are seeing a patient, you are focused on clinical.
If there is a disgruntled patient, you should not be disturbed.
If I advise surgery, I don't tell them what is going to be the cost of it and all that. Let somebody else.
So if your patient care is topmost, you be in charge. If the bottom line is the topmost, you let the MBA be in charge.
We'd like to.
But it's not a middle line.
Thank you.
So finally, clinician is overall in the head, which is helping all other people to work.
May not be head, maybe at the same level.
Yes, yes. So you have to develop both and work.
Thank you so much. We'll invite the next speaker now, Dr. Mahindrakar Aniruddha Dinkar, who will be speaking on contemporary swanky ambience is necessary today for a successful practice.
Yeah, good afternoon. So this is the swanky Pani Puri now, not the old Pani Puri wala. This is old practice which is based on trust. Patients come, the doctor is dispensing medicine, there is this patient queue, patient expectations are low, they are tired, waiting, but now the management has changed from just facility management to hospitality management. It is not just patient treatment, it is the patient experience that matters. So patients also come for the brand. Many times patients want not just treatment, but hospitals are seen as places of comfort, care with best modern facilities for patients, in addition to the basic treatment, diagnosis and correct care. So swanky is smart. Wi-Fi, you enter any premises, Wi-Fi is necessary. So for patients and their relatives, we need to provide Wi-Fi. Clean hospitals, that is the old ones, bring to mind sharp smells, perplexing pathways, scrambling staff members and somber surroundings. However, swanky hospitals have distinct atmosphere with classic interior design which influences it for better. This helps in patients to return as well as to reduce the employee turnover. And it goes beyond retention rates. It is not just retention, but it is also for the health and safety, which is very, very important. The ambience is the first thing wherein the patient comes into the reception. The first contact of the patient is at the entrance. So workflow, SOP is mandatory. No one wants to wait in areas which are impersonal. Patients won't be hopeful of getting healthy if they come and see that the place is just clean. It should have a swanky ambience and a personal touch. Spacious, swanky waiting rooms are necessary, especially in this previous COVID areas where the patients are very anxious to sit next to each other. So waiting room designs matter and they are very, very helpful. This is one of the reciprocal designs which is helpful in reducing stress. The wayfindings are really helpful. You can have pathways for physically challenged, which is very, very important now. Swanky interiors with virtual windows which make the interiors great. The colors which affect the mood and make it cheerful instead of this old dim lighting. So swanky lighting makes it better for the patient to be aware. Not only for the patients but also for our staff. They need to have a separate break room which makes them motivated, keeps them healthy and prevents contamination from the patients who are infected. Swanky space is not only necessary but also essential for safety, because in emergencies when we have to exit the hospital there should be proper directions. These anti-slip floors help in preventing accidents because of fall and better protection against infection because of bacterial sterility. So art installations bring positive environment, and not only they are sterile but also enlighten the mood. So the trend of being swanky is not only present in private practice, but we can see this news article which shows that the swanky civic hospitals are coming up. We can see our local in Mumbai. You are in Mumbai. From its old traditional local, now it is a swanky AC local. Our AIOC itself has changed from the previous versions to the swanky local. So swanky contemporary ambience should be a priority, as it is a long way to go to help boost the experience of anyone who walks into it. When the cataract surgery results are the same in all hospitals, it's the ambience that plays the major role in attracting and retaining the patient. That's the message. Thank you.
Nice presentation, Dr. Dinkar. Thank you very much. We would like to invite Dr. Kalyan, who will be speaking on clean, functional ambience is adequate. We are not a hotel industry. Nice pictures, Dr. Dinkar.
Swanky.
Thank you, moderators, the elite expert panel, all the delegates, and thank you for this opportunity. Let me tell you, all the pictures shown by the previous speaker are not swanky. They were just clean and decent. So clean, functional ambience is adequate. We are not a hotel industry. So what can ambience do? Space itself gives you perception that creates an ambience. It is an important element of the hospital personality. It starts talking to the patient even before the personal interaction, or even before the patient actually talks to any of our staff. As the patient spends significant time in waiting area, he is developing an image of it. I am at the right place. That should be the message it should convey. He should feel the connect, and he feels the confidence that I am going to get the solution to my problem here. But there is another side to it. Ambience can create a bad experience. It can actually stress the patient, and he starts questioning whether am I at the right place. It can adversely affect the immune system because of this mental stress. It will cause delayed recovery and defy the whole purpose of he being in the place, and it is going to contribute to overall bad experience of the patient. And not only that, the ambience is going to give you some cues that patient is going to pick up about the probable cost of the treatment. Too swanky, too affluent interiors can actually intimidate the patients about the higher cost of the services. They can actually turn away your potential patients even without asking or even without inquiring about the actual cost of the treatment. It can lead to anxiety to inpatients about the final bills. We are actually catering, and it should be an actual healthy blend of all segments of the society, because healthcare is essential for all. Swanky means too affluent, too showy, too opulent interiors. We are actually catering to the patients and not the guests like hotels. The interior should actually be conducive to healing. The durability to sustain the routine harsh chemical disinfectant, which is a routine practice in a hospital, should be there on the materials used in interiors. Actually, the corroded, lavish looking interiors can really look very shabby and defy the whole purpose of creating those interiors. It will cause a short renovation cycle. It will add to the cost, and downtime during renovation will add even more to the cost, and ultimately the patient is going to bear it. Opulent interiors. Previous, the one previous, please. back. Bus. Thank you. The hotel interiors define the categories like 3 stars, 5 stars, or 7 stars. They actually segregate and define their class of the customers whom they are going to cater to. For hospitals, such interiors can actually repel the patients, and we should actually learn. There are many more things that we can learn from the hotel industry other than the interiors, like the communication skill, the sense of care, the etiquettes, the mannerism, and actually it should all reflect the deep caring attitude. RUSP, the hotels actually need opulent interiors to attract customers, and that could be one of their USPs, and that is going to define their customers. But our successful patient treatment is our most important USP. The disease cure is going to give the highest patient satisfaction, and rest all is supportive. Cleanliness is an essential part of the hospital. Good cleanliness and hygiene is essential for preventing infections, and it actually fosters the sense of well-being. An unobstructed workflow through a clean interior is very important. So actually it should be a healing interiors. Our facility should actually reflect our core values. They should soothe the stressed mind, connect to the patient, create hope for healing, create positive healing mindset, and deliver what the patient is here for, that is care and cure. Gratitude, thank you so very much to all of you, my family, and all the listeners and teachers. Thank you so much.
So, judges, I think rather than we give the choice, you take the choice.
No, I would just give, I think it should be clean, functional, efficient, and innovative. That is what an environment should be. I do not know what is the definition of swanky. The more you make it swanky, the more you increase the cost. I am not saying that it should not be clean, it should not be modern. It should be modern and yet cost effective to the patient and to your systems.
I think one very valid point he said was, the more intricate you make that swankiness, it's difficult to actually sanitize it. So many a times the kind of fitting. So it's probably good that a hospital needs sanitization very often.
Dr. Malika?
One small thing, about 6-7 years back, we had a guest, Dr. Sohan Singh Haire, and his wife is in hospital administration, and they compared the cost of American hospitals which were swanky and hospitals which were clean and efficient, and they found the clean and efficient delivered better with lesser cost and more patient satisfaction.
But swanky places can cover up for shortcomings on the clinical care. Yeah. So you have brighter Snellen's charts, so they can probably reach 6.5 instead of 6.9. Yeah, but it's a difficult. I agree. It was difficult to sell swankiness to rather conventional-minded ophthalmologists who are always short of money to upgrade their. But obviously that's why I'm saying. I think well presented and rather difficult topic.
They have really put up right things.
Absolutely.
Instead of using the word swanky, definitely a pleasant ambience is important. We cannot discount that. Space, pleasantness, workflow, ergonomics. Those things are extremely important.
So although I would say the word swanky would not exclude or preclude not having all these things, but the swanky look would make it look expensive without necessarily being so. So the patient is willing to pay more for coming, although the services are the same.
There is a class of patients who would actually prefer a swanky place.
There are of course.
We are a service industry like hotels.
Yeah, so exactly. So
thank you.
Wonderful.
Very much.
I think excellently presented both sides. They were difficult issues to deal with, but thank you.
Thank you so much. We would like to call upon the next speaker, Dr. Indraveer Mishra, who will be speaking on "We are constantly working for the ophthalmic industry and must be guarded about them."
Good evening, everyone. So my correct name is Dr. Indraveer V. Mishra. I'm Medical Director for Bhala Netra Super Speciality Eye Hospital. I started my practice 3 years back in Bhandup, that is in Bombay. See, one of my esteemed colleagues previously said, if you want to judge the character of the hospital and the nature of the doctor, check out the bathroom. So similarly, if you want to know about the ophthalmic industry, you have to get down to the grassroots level and talk to people like me who have just started the struggle. Things are different when it comes to corporates or people sitting at the higher level. When this topic was given to me, I actually was wondering how am I going to present it without stepping on people's toes. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to give it straight out. See, the ophthalmic industry is divided into the pharmaceutical and the machinery part. Now, there has been a systematic brainwashing. You know, the so-called star speakers, they come on the stage and then they kind of tell you this drug is good, that drug is bad. We kind of get biased and then we keep on writing that drug without even wondering whether it is going to work or not work. Pharmaceutical industry, pilocarpine, you see there is a big shortage now. We really need that drug, but companies have refused to produce it because, honestly speaking, they are citing a reason that the government policies have changed. It is not viable for us. But does that really make sense? No. We keep on writing, giving intracameral moxifloxacin. There is a big study saying that, yeah, it is helpful, but I know many senior practitioners not using it, still having equally good results. So there has been a systematic brainwashing, and you see ICL was not given permission for a very long time so that the refractive component of the LASIK machines could pick up very well. All this is a very well planned capitalist propaganda, I would say. Exorbitant prices. I don't have to tell you this. I recently bought an optical biometer. I paid 26. I went on the government website, checked out the real price, the import duty, every damn thing comes out to be 12.88. How much extra I'm paying? I can understand. Okay, they want to earn. R&D they have done, all the money they have invested over the years. But me as a single practitioner, how much extra I'm paying? It is easier for people who are doing bulk buy, but it is not something which we can achieve every time. We cannot find people, like-minded people buying the same machine. So then I'm shelling out more money. Differential pricing is something which we all have faced. See, a colleague of mine, the same time I bought an optical biometer, he bought it after 1 month, and this thing was sold off to him for 32. There are big companies, corporates, I don't have to take the name, you know. Based on various other factors, they keep on differentiating the price. But the same price would be different for us, it will be different for corporate, it will be different for other cities. Why is this happening? AMC, CMC, we keep on paying them money, still they will keep on charging us for different parts. Every time we just keep on shelling out money. So we are not earning for ourselves, we are earning for the companies. That is what I believe. Arm twisting. Particular company, American-based company, every 5 years they will come out with a new machine saying that the older machine is out of commission, you have to buy the new one. And they'll buy the old machine for peanuts. Where are we standing in this market? COVID actually gave us the real face of the corporate and the ophthalmic industry. Trust me, I have faced it. Only Appa Swami, I am not ashamed of naming them, really supported. Rest of the companies actually showed their true face. I don't even have to debate. I know most of you know what I'm saying. I don't even have to tell you the points. Deep down in your heart, you know what is going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Indraveed. That was a nice presentation. I would now like to invite Dr. Rajiv Gandhi, who will be speaking on ophthalmic industry and practice are complementary and mutually beneficial.
Good afternoon all. I'm Dr. Rajiv. So my friend has spoken, but we have to look at the larger picture here. So probably he is an anti-segment surgeon. So I'm a posterior segment. I'll speak in that perspective. So I have no financial interest.
You should have, man.
So my topic is ophthalmic industry and practice are complementary and mutually beneficial. So the overriding principle guiding doctors' relationship with industry is primacy of patient care. So main thing what comes to my mind is evolution and innovations. We keep to evaluate ourselves like the different industries like drugs, machines and instruments. Drugs such as anti-VEGFs, which were previously unthought of, need clinical evaluation and clinical trials, which has lot of the industry helps us in evaluation. And evaluation of these drugs have saved millions from going blind. Machines, and as you all know, we have evolved from 20 gauge to 22, 23 to 25 and now 27. So these minor, the microincision vitrectomy surgery is now unthought of surgeries previously, ROP stage 4 and stage 5. Due to this evolution, we can do the surgeries and probably save the eyes of many babies. Instruments like Dr. Ajay sir is here. He has designed instrument. When a patient, when there's a design in mind of a clinician, it can be conceptualized with the help of industry and design. Like he has his trocar and cannula, which is reusable and which saves lot of cost. It can be cost effective. So main thing that is beneficial for both is evolution and innovations. So main thing, all of this is for the benefit of the patients. See, the newer drugs, the newer machines and instruments eventually improve the patient care. So the patients are biggest beneficiary among all stakeholders. As I had spoken of anti-VEGF drugs, without that millions would have gone blind. So newer technological advances, like as I've spoken of microincision vitrectomy surgeries, and due to these newer technological advances which are impossible without the help of the industry, patient satisfactions are regularly evaluated. And also patient education materials which are provided by the industry. So what are the benefits for the practitioners or organizations? So synergy of ophthalmic industry and practice to a health organization stimulates continuous improvement. It enables the organization in demonstrating commitment to quality eye care and safety, thereby ensures best clinical outcomes. It also provides opportunity to healthcare unit to benchmark with the best. The technology and medicine given by industry provides an objective system empowerment by insurance and corporates. Most of the industry funds nearly 60% of biomedical research for performed. Like we have said, newer drugs or anything new needs to be researched and needs to be clinical trials, which are helped by the industry, which eventually helps the patients. The industry also funds graduate medical education fellowships, and industry supports our medical journals through advertisements, purchase of articles, which are helpful for our improvement of our knowledge. So mostly industry likely funds 30 to 50% of most professional medical association member benefits by supporting the annual meetings like our AIOC. So what are the benefits for the industry? They get the newer ideas from the practitioners. Their product sales growth, eventually there's growth of their company, and they have direct and indirect service for improvement of patient care and awareness. So to summarize, the biggest gainer from the association are the patients as they get best and latest management for the diseases. The association is just not for the money, but also for the betterment of human beings. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Ajay, please.
So I know it's very difficult to actually say for or against this, but what I'll say is what I feel is that the ophthalmic practice clinicians and the industry should work in tandem, but under a monitored care. In the sense, I do not know if we can tomorrow have something like we have generic medicines. We should have some sort of equipment which our society should be able to monitor the price of that. I think that's what the first speaker in the way was saying, that the prices are exorbitant. If we can monitor that, I think then we can work in tandem.
Dr. KP?
Very difficult.
I think they cannot be exclusive. Obviously, we have to work together for a common cause. At the same time, we cannot rule the fact that there has been a manipulation. The companies, especially the big ones, they manipulate the popular perception. Okay, so they can probably for a better commerce. So there has to be some via media. Something has to be there in between for a people who cannot afford beginners, so that there is some way of doing a viable practice with less investment. So that's probably the way around. There has to be some via media, because present situation definitely it's difficult for beginners and small time practitioners.
That is why the LDP program to develop leaders who can handle both.
Yeah, like HIV medication, Cipla came up with drugs which was so much cheaper. Yeah.
But obviously there was a huge commerce behind it. You need a lot of financial support to enter.
Device, the multinationals don't want to take it up because it affects the industry.
So.
Thank you. We'll move on to the last debate. We'll like to invite Dr. Abhishek Anand, who will be speaking on academics and my clinical practice are equally important to me.
Ankur, I think send a recorded version. Recorded version.
Opportunity. So, simple photo है. 4 बुक के बराबर 1 नोट. इतना भारी पड़ता है नोट. सबको पैसा अच्छा लगता है. And as we all know, sadly in India, time devoted in clinical practice will yield at least 2 to 5 times more remuneration versus time invested in academics. And that is the truth of India. And I love money. Everybody loves money. But in the end, when we see, we also have a time and we want to see what is our life, what is the purpose of our life. Obviously, one of them is wealth creation. It is there. But then there are other motives also, like intellectual growth. And we all want to constantly evolve as an ophthalmic practitioner. We all want to be scientifically updated, and we want to contribute to the real science and to our ophthalmic fraternity. In order to intellectually stimulate ourselves, clinically evolve and update, and contribute to the eye science, you have to develop a partnership with the academics. There is a term, publish or perish, and it's like a fear mongering. Is it a warning against an academic career? Is research a burden? Well, academia and private practice are not mutually exclusive environment. A spectrum of clinical care, teaching, and research can exist to varying degree in any practice setting. What really matters is how much of each of these activities a fellow desires to have in his or her career, both in the short and long term. An advantage to the private practice setting is that one often has more latitude in choosing how much time one wishes to put into teaching and research. However, research activities might be limited in a busy clinical care setting. There is a lack of protected research time in typical work week. There is a lack of infrastructure support permitting doing certain type of research. Universities are far more likely to have institutional research boards, statisticians, data analysis, animal laboratories, and other resources. But to defy everything, well, some of our greatest innovators have been private practitioners, and that is the way to go. Ultimately, there is no clear map for an individual who is considering a switch from academic to private practice or vice versa. One needs to self-evaluate the specific environment at a given site and determine for him or herself whether the trade-offs between academia and private practice are worth it. And to conclude, in the end, when we all, we have an 80 year, 100 years of lifespan, we all want to leave a mark here, that we were here at this beautiful planet Earth. And there is no better way to leave your footmarks in ophthalmology eternally than academia. Publish and be remembered forever that you were there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abhishek.
Excellent presentation.
Very nice, very nice.
I think Dr. Ankur has sent a recorded.
एक recording भेजा हुआ है, उसको चलाइएगा तो.
Dr. Ankur Sinha ने एक recording भेजी है. He unfortunately is down with COVID. He couldn't come, so I believe he has sent a.
Hey, no photo session.
No, that is nice. That is nice of him not to come.
Yeah.
See, if you don't publish, you will
leadership
perish.
skills. Leadership skills. Leadership skills you learn there.
Publishing, he perished. So you won it hands down, man.
Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna walk over.
Yes. Have we the recording or no?
Audio visual.
AV.
Ankur Sinha.
है या नहीं है बता दो.
Just enough academics to keep my practice going is enough for me.
No, till then, can
Yes.
I give
Comments, please,
one
please,
minute
please.
of some kind of a tips on people who already spoke?
Please.
Okay, my remarks are maybe feedback. I think for all the people before that comes up, for the people who presented by now, my remarks and my feedback, Dr. Ajay can also chip in.
I want to just introduce once again Dr. Krishna Prasad is a very senior consultant from Joshi Eye Hospital from Hubli. He does high volume work and he was our academic and research committee member for South India in the last term.
And
Please.
Dr. Ajay, we are grateful for these two experts to
He's
stay
a
till the very
treasurer.
end. Dr. Ajay, joint treasurer of AIOS, and of course he's a very, very accomplished vitreoretina surgeon with a lot of innovative ideas himself, has done immense amount of innovative work in vitreoretina. Do we have or we don't? So we don't have a video or a Zoom.
Okay, we'll just take Krishna Prasad's comments.
Thank you. I think
for all the people who
great.
presented and also the people who are planning to present in future, I think these are my very honest opinion. Don't get me wrong. Just take it very positively. See, there is a bane of PowerPoint. See, all the talks, there were only 4 minutes. They were very high density talks. You probably thought of so much because you could get a lot of information from the net. Google actually destroys your creativity. So when you're given a topic, look at the central theme. What exactly in 4 minutes I can speak? I think you yourself can really imagine what can be the central theme, and you yourself can produce a lot of content. And please do not hide behind just like, undergraduates or, this one, a lot of animations, a lot of, glittery things, a lot of downloaded images, and a lot of, transitions, which actually intimidate. For a meeting like this, for an elite meeting like this, okay, a simple slide would actually suffice. You don't have to have images just because you want to beautify or embellish your statement. What is important is the power of talking. When you speak, I think that is good enough. So basically stick to your thing, and PowerPoint making, always use custom animation. There was so much of lines in each slide sometimes that you started reading. I think if you want to have a beautiful presentation, take one word, friends, don't read from the slide. The slide, just put few sentences there, and you should not speak about that. Don't speak whatever is on the slide. Then you will be a good speaker. So especially not too many, and don't read it. You will read from the top and we'll read from the bottom. So we cannot hear and at the same time see both together at the same time. So don't put anything on the slide. That will just put an image and just talk about it. And use custom animation. PowerPoint has custom animation. Point number 1, press point number 2, so that when you're talking about 1, we don't be reading at the point number 10. We don't get distracted. So that is very important. And this is a debate. There has to be a sense of humor. Some sense of, humor, fun. You need to pull somebody's leg. There has to be a rebuttal, rejoinder. Some kind of, especially if people are speaking second. You need to pick something from the first speaker and try to create some, because obviously it's not only science. There is some fun has to be there in the debate. That is the whole format. And obviously your way you speak, the body language, and there are hiccups. Your mic, you're standing too away, you're not audible. If you're not audible, it's a problem. Speak louder. If the slide does not start, like glitches, okay, don't wait for the AV man to come. You start because that is not counted. The first 30, the time, more time he takes to set up the thing, you have extra 30 or 40 seconds to make an impression. You got already an extra time. So don't wait for him to, don't stop there, because whatever you have started off, you just try to take your screen presence is very important. So next time, see that your opening has to be very important, and the conclusion, and please rehearse it. You cannot, and at the same time, many were very common things. See, anybody can speak on anything because thanks to Google. Somebody thanked Google also very rightly. The gratitude to Google. So please don't overdo that. And try to say something. Everybody will have attention span only if you speak something which they don't know, or you speak something which they want to know. Otherwise, routine things, everybody knows everything. Okay, that's all. Just take it very sportively. I think that's the way I just wanted to put across.
Thank you, Dr. KP. Again, leadership skills and pearls for you from one of our esteemed leaders. Yeah. On kar dena mic. Mic is off.
See, whenever, just add one point. I think KP's covered everything. Whenever you get a topic, you should think about it and get immersed in the topic. When you come on the stage and speak, it should be as if you should be saying that with an internal absorption of the complete topic, so that your passion should show, that you are convinced about the topic. If you are not convinced of the topic, you can never speak for it.
So I think thank you very much. We'll conclude this session of debates, and we'll go on to the next
Thank you.
program.
How many LDP candidates are here for completion? Okay, thank you.
So thank you.
Just give me 2 minutes. Okay.
Thank you, KP. Thank you, Ajay.
Big thanks to
for
Dr. Ajay Arora.
staying till the
Big
very
thanks to
end.
Dr. Krishna Prasad. Achha.